I went to Bridge, Tamaki Intermediate, and then Tamaki College. And now I'm currently studying, doing my Masters in Marine Biology at Aysha University. And I just came here today to talk to you a bit about science and why you would want to do science. Okay, so what do you think of when you think of a scientist or science? Evil? Evil? Okay. Boring? Okay. Yeah, anything else? Smallwood. Is that all you can think of? Boring. Okay. Okay, well, if it's boring, I'm going to try and convince you how science isn't boring. Okay, and you need to be open-minded, and if you don't like science, just bear in mind that there are ways to make science cool and fun. Okay, so my first point is it's not boring. Okay, so many of you may think science is boring, but actually when you're out there in the field and when you're doing really cool stuff, it's fun and it's not boring. Okay, it's fun. This is a picture of me doing scuba diving. Does anybody know what scuba diving is? No. Okay, this is when you go underwater. You have special air, and you can go down really, really deep depending on how much air you've got. And you can go down and you can look around under the sea. Okay, it's a completely different feeling. It's not like walking on land. You're underwater and you can breathe. And that is really cool, being able to do that. Fish swim around you, sharks go past you, stingrays, crayfish, whatever. You see them all. It's really fun. So I chose to do science. In year 11, I thought I want to do science because I like the sea. I like going to rock pools and poking in them and seeing what was in there, seeing what things did. These are some photos of me doing science. So over there might just look like I'm sticking something into sand, but what I'm doing there is I'm actually collecting bivalves that I'm researching about. So I'm researching a particular bivalve, which is like a pithy or a cockle. So it's called Macamona liliana, and you can't even see them. They're 1 to 2 millimeters long. So I go and I collect heaps of sand with that special corer. Then I take them back to the lab. I look under a microscope. I can spend 8 hours sometimes just looking for these tiny, tiny little bivalves. And I'm interested in their behaviour and how they relate to chemistry changes, which is all related to global warming, sedimentation, coastal urbanisation, all these big fancy words. But anyway, to me, that's really fun. It's not sitting in a classroom being bored out of your brain. It's going out on boats all day long. It's going diving. It's travelling around New Zealand. It's really fun. Okay, so you might want to do science because science every day is discovering new things. This is a jellyfish and it's called a basket star. So that's a type of starfish. And these are found in the deep sea. So these are only being found recently. So 10 years ago, nobody knew what those were. So imagine in 10 years' time, what are we going to be finding? Who's going to be finding these? Who knows what these are?
Mussels. Yeah.
What's these ones? Mussels? What's those ones?
Mussels.
Okay. Science is good for your tummy. Does anybody know the scientific name for these? No? Okay. This is Paracanalicculus and this is Christosphagus. Every organism has a scientific name. You are all Homo sapiens. Okay? Now you know. Okay, so what that relates to is aquaculture research. So aquaculture is a study of culturing all these different organisms in water. Okay, so these are mussels. This is called long line farming. They grow all these mussels on these ropes, pull them up and then take them to factories. That's how oysters are farmed. So you think of how apples are grown in orchards on all these trees. That's how they do it out in the ocean. And New Zealand has a really booming aquaculture industry. How much do you think New Zealand makes selling mussels a year?
$1 billion.
$1 billion?
Million.
1,000.
$5,000.
80,000. Okay.
$2.
No, you can buy those for $2 a kg at Packensay. Just the mussels alone, those get sold out of New Zealand for 200 million a year, over 200 million. So, can you imagine what the aquaculture scientists make? If they make 200 just with mussels, we need scientists who go and research all about how to grow them, how do we get them this big, how do we stop diseases infecting them. It's scientists who are responsible for all these jobs. Okay? Who's seen that program? What's really not food? Target. Well, no, that one's not Target. That's what's really not food. No? Okay. Anyway, this program looks at food. It tells you the fat, the salt, all these different contents, and it's scientists who go and do that, okay? So they show you all these different things, and then they send it away to a lab. And it's scientists who go and analyse these with all these specialised techniques. Who knows what those are?
Bacteria.
Okay, yeah, those are bacteria. There's a special type of bacteria called probiotics. Does anybody know what probiotics are, what they do?
Yeah, say that louder.
Probiotics are really
say it
good
louder.
for you. Probiotics are what scientists are now putting in food. You might find them in your yogurt, and your cheese, and your milk, and your ice cream, and your chocolate. Okay, all these things will help your digestion, and supposed to be really beneficial for you. So in 10 years' time, probiotics might be in every single thing you eat. And it's scientists who are responsible for researching all about that. Okay, who knows what that chip is? Yep, the renal. Okay, so environmental scientists are now responsible for cleaning up that disaster. And that's probably the biggest environmental disaster in New Zealand. And now scientists are going to have to go, they have studied about the oil effects, what it does on these animals, how long it takes to disperse, what it does when it's still in the sand. All these different things give jobs for scientists, and scientists will be busy researching about all these things. Okay, technology, smartphones. Those weren't around before. Scientists have developed all these different types of technology to make us be able to go on Facebook on the phone. Health? Who knows what those are? Chromosomes. Yep, part of DNA. Okay, so scientists have been busy working on cures for cancer. They have been busy working on different types of medicine. Okay, who knows what that is? Okay, that is salmonella. That is what will make you get food poisoning if you eat chicken that's not cooked properly. And it has taken microbiologists to study that and figure that out. So we now know don't eat uncooked chicken. When you get a blood test, it's the microbiologists who go and analyse that blood. They look for different diseases, bacteria, all these different things inside your blood. So that's what microbiologists do. Okay, and last but not least, science needs you. When I say that, I mean Māori and Pacifica are so underrepresented in science that there's just a huge need for these people to be in science. There's so much support and scholarships for Māori and Pacifica. So I'm at AUT and I'm doing my Masters. Out of all the postgraduate students that are there, I'm the only Māori and Pacifica student there. Okay, so there's a big need for you guys to go out and do science. Okay, so lastly, you need to do what you love and love what you do. If you are interested in science, pursue it further because it will